There's a map in Marathon where bringing your best gear isn't optional, it's expected. And losing that gear, that's not a failure, that's part of the design. If you want the strongest builds in the game, the rarest upgrades, and the real story behind Marathon's world, there's one place you can't avoid forever. It's not on the surface, it's not forgiving, and it's built to force fights you cannot walk away from. This is Cryo Archive, Marathon's true endgame. And once you understand how this map works, it becomes clear why Marathon doesn't play like other extraction shooters, and why Bungie designed it in a way that gives it a distinct advantage in the extraction shooter space. Most extraction shooters are built around open spaces. You get room to rotate, room to disengage, and room to disappear when things go wrong. Well, forget about all of that, because Cryo Archive throws all of that in a garbage bag and then chucks that down the street. The map is located inside the UESC Marathon ship itself, the massive colony ship orbiting Tau Ceti 4. And that isn't just a cool visual choice, it's a purposeful design statement. The Marathon ship was built to carry humanity to a new world, but something went catastrophically wrong along the way, making the ship itself appear desolate and deserted. Cryo Archive sits deep inside the ship in what appears to be a high security preservation zone. This isn't a hangar, and it's not a crew housing either. It's a place designed to store things long term, things valuable enough or dangerous enough that they couldn't be abandoned. That single decision, putting the end game inside the ship, shapes everything about how this map plays. The moment you enter Cryo Archive, you feel it. There are no wide sightlines, no long flanks, and no clean escape routes. Everything is interior. Hallways are tight, rooms are stacked, layered, and sound travels far. Every step matters more than it does on surface maps because you're always within someone's threat range. Even when you don't see another squad, you'll always be tense and wondering if they can feel your presence. And this is the first major way Cryo Archive separates itself from other extraction shooters in the endgame department. It removes avoidance as a primary strategy. You're not here to slip around the edges. You're here to push forward, whether you're ready or not. Cryo Archive isn't one big loot zone. It's built around 7 sequential vaults, and this is the heart of the map's design. Vaults 1 through 6 act as progression gates. Each one takes time to breach, requires interaction with security system, and exposes you while you're doing it. Every vault you open increases the danger, not just from AI, but from other players who are being drawn towards the same objectives. And here's the key design choice. The deeper you go, the fewer options you have. By the time you're multiple vaults in, backing out isn't clean anymore. Retreat becomes a decision with consequences. Lost progress, lost positioning, and often lost gear. Vault 7 sits at the bottom. It's the deepest, hardest, and most contested space in the entire map. Bungie has made it clear that this is where the best rewards live, and where the most important story reveals are hidden. Reaching Vault 7 doesn't mean you've won. It just means you've committed. On surface maps, smart players can often avoid fights, but in Cryo Archive, the map simply won't let you. Objectives funnel squads inward, hallways compress movement, gunfire echoes through the ship, broadcasting your position whether you want it to or not. Even if you don't want to fight, someone else will. And because progression requires time spent interacting with systems, opening vaults, bypassing security, players are often caught mid-objective, exposed, and vulnerable. This turns Cryo Archive into something closer to a pressure cooker than a sandbox. You're not just reacting to enemies, you're racing against them, and the environment itself starts pushing back. Cryo Archive isn't dangerous only because of other players. The ship fights you too. Automated defenses, security lockdowns, cryogenic hazards, slippery surfaces, temperature effects, and environmental penalties. These systems all exist for one reason: to prevent stagnation. You can't camp vaults forever, you can't hold a single angle indefinitely, you can't slow the game down when things get uncomfortable. Cryo Archive isn't trying to kill you outright, it's trying to force decisions, and every decision has a cost. So with all of that, why would anyone willingly run this map? Because Marathon puts its best rewards exactly where the danger is highest. Cryo Archives, where you find top tier mods and implants and build defining gear. as well as narrative artifacts tied directly to the marathon ship itself, and Vault 7 represents the peak of that philosophy. If you want the strongest builds in the game, you don't farm safely, you don't play comfortably, you risk everything. This creates Marathon's core endgame loop. The more power you want, the more danger you have to accept. There's no shortcut around that. Your first cryo archive runs won't feel clean. They'll feel claustrophobic, overwhelming, and unforgiving. Mistakes compound fast, losses hurt more, and when you succeed, it feels earned in a way surface maps rarely do. This isn't a map meant to be mastered immediately. It's a map meant to be respected. Cryo Archive isn't just another extraction map. It's Bungie tackling the endgame problem head on. It forces commitment instead of avoidance, meaning instead of mindless farming, you choose risk instead of comfort. If surface maps teach you how to play Marathon, Cryo Archive asks whether you're willing to prove that you have what it takes to call yourself an endgame runner. If this helped you understand why Cryo Archive exists and why Marathon's endgame is built around commitment, leave a like. And if you're planning to run this map yourself, subscribe, because the deeper you go in Marathon, the more questions you'll have for each thing you find. And I'm here to make sure you understand everything that goes on in the world of Marathon.